top Arizona Republican officials try and bribe former gubernatorial candidate Kari Lake?
I'm just wondering why they would all lie.
You can make all the xenophobic comments you want.
Bring it on.
Said that hard times create strong men. Well, they create strong women too, right?
They came to my door and they tried to bribe me out of getting out of politics.
I came on here thinking we were going to talk about the issues facing Arizonans right now. It's terrible. Defunding our police. How do they come up with this stuff?
They call her Trump in heels.
We're on the final hill right now. And I'm not surrendering this hill. So we're going to do a tutorial in how fake, bogus, defamatory news is made. We are strong. We are the people. We'll save Arizona. We can do it together, Arizona, because God is with us. He's with us.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Kari Lake.
Holy smoke. Hello. Wow, wow, wow. This room is electric. I know you're not here just to see me. I think there's somebody coming up that you're really excited to see. But do you feel this energy in the room? This is electric. This is exactly what terrifies the radical left and their war machine. I call them the propagandists over in the media, because there is no countering this energy. There's no saying it doesn't exist when you can feel it like this. And it's real. I love you too. I love you too. It's real and it's here to stay. This energy isn't going anywhere. And frankly, there's not enough fake news smears and phony ballots in the world to stop the number of fed up Americans who are going to show up at the polls come November, right? And over the next 8.5 months, yes, we're down to 8.5 months now, the people in this room and the people across America will devote our time, our money, and all of our energy to saving this republic. Because if we are not willing to make those kind of sacrifices, then we will, as Ronald Reagan said, fall into 1,000 years of darkness. Sometimes it feels like we're already there, doesn't it? But we're not. We're not there. And we can't give up, not in the fourth quarter. We are about to witness an American revival that is on the horizon, and we, the people, are going to be leading that revival. You know, when I was 18 years old, just a few years ago, I was inspired to register as a Republican by a man named Ronald. And thanks to a man named Donald, I was inspired to step into the political arena and run for office. He's inspired so many. Ronald and Donald, they may be a little bit different in tone, but Reagan and Trump were both the perfect man for the moment. I remember it vividly. I was just a kid when Jimmy Carter left America in an ash heap, and Ronald Reagan inherited that. But it was his calm optimism and frankly, a little bit of humor, we always loved that, that brought us together as Americans and inspired us and reminded us that we could get through that difficult time if we stuck together. And then nearly 3 decades later, a man with golden hair came down a golden escalator, and he gave us another reminder. Donald Trump was exactly the man we needed in 2015, and he's exactly the man we need today for the job. Thank you. You guys are too kind. Thank you. You know, I like the bull in a china shop ideology. I like a strong man. We got way too many weaklings out there. Let me hear from the ladies out there. We're tired of the beta men. We want some alpha men. And we got a #1 alpha man in Donald J. Trump. I think we've got some pretty strong men in this room as well. And that's what is going to get us through this difficult time. You know, I don't really care if he pissed off the fake news. I really don't. Those mean tweets brought us world peace. They really did. And let's face it, these people, these people in the fake news, the propagandists, they are people like at the Washington Post. Remember, they are the same propagandists who called terrorists religious scholars, and they call parents domestic terrorists. These people are off their rocker. So I'll tell you, these guys, you guys back there, you lie about President Trump all the time. You have been on an 8-year mission to destroy the man who's fighting for us. 8-year mission. But the good news is, guys, I've got good news for you. Nobody is reading that garbage anymore. And they know it. They're feeling it. Have you noticed lately you're hearing about all of these layoffs in the fake news? Hundreds of people. Yeah. Listen, I want low unemployment numbers like we had with President Trump, but I'm okay if we have high unemployment in the fake news. Maybe you guys, once your fake news operations collapse, maybe you guys can go learn to code. Maybe they can learn to code. Under President Trump, we had a historic economy. We had law and order. We had a secure border, energy independence, world peace. Inflation was not an issue. Record low mortgage rates, record low unemployment. We were safe and secure, and we were prosperous under President Trump. And that safety and security has been destroyed in just a few years of Joe Biden and his destructive policies. As a mother, nothing disturbs me more than knowing that my beautiful state of Arizona is controlled by the narco-terrorist cartels. I don't like knowing that Arizona is the hub for human trafficking, child sex trafficking, and drug trafficking. It's frankly horrific. And I know you all see it, whatever state you're in, you are feeling the effects of this wide open border. But think about this. We sent an army of young boys and girls, our young men and women, off to foreign lands thousands and thousands of miles away under the false pretense that there were weapons of mass destruction. Guess what? We have a weapon of mass destruction right here in our country, and it's called fentanyl. And it's time we fight that. One of the most difficult things that I've experienced in the past few years on the campaign trail has been talking to mothers and fathers who've lost a son or daughter to fentanyl poisoning, or talking to a child whose mother is no longer around because she died after taking a half a pill that was a counterfeit pill. We've got to stop what's happening at our border. We have to do it. And I know there's a man who is bound and determined to do it, and his name is Donald Trump. That's why I'm behind him. And I want to join him in Washington, D.C. to turn this nightmare scenario around. And I'm glad to know that he, along with me and many others, support saving our homeland. And the only way to do that is to return these people who are invading our country back to their homeland. Anybody who has crossed our border, these foreign armies who have crossed our border, must go back to their homeland. It's going to be the largest repatriation campaign in the history of America. I will be the fighter for the people of Arizona, a fighter who will secure the border, stand up to Washington, D.C. corruption, cut taxes, confirm conservative Supreme Court justices, and end Chuck Schumer's reign. And I, along with President Trump, will demand accountability for all of this money, all of our treasure that we're sending to fund endless wars overseas. I will always prioritize feeding the American family over the war machine. And I know that the best investment this country can make in peace and prosperity is to the American people. You know, Americans in Flint, Michigan, still don't have clean water. Americans in East Palestine, Ohio, are still living in a chemical wasteland. And Americans in Hawaii are still surrounded by ashes. Imagine if we would have used the money we've been pouring into Ukraine, into that black hole called Ukraine, to solve America's problems. USA! USA! Yep. Starting in January of next year, we're going to start putting the USA first. We need honest people to run for office, and you all know that I can't be bought. I walked away from a 7-figure contract when I told the corporate news that I wouldn't lie for them. My integrity was worth more than a paycheck, and I wish these people would do the same. A year ago, I stood on this very stage and I told you that somebody had come to my house, come to my door and tried to bribe me to stay out of politics. He said he was representing some very powerful people back east. Did you all hear about that? They wanted me out of politics, just like they want President Trump out of politics, by the way. I keep thinking about that line, very powerful people back east, because he mentioned it a lot, that there were some very powerful people back east. Here's the problem. Wall Street has very powerful people back east who are making deals for them. Big Pharma has very powerful people back east making deals for them. Military-industrial complex has very powerful people. You know what? I think it's about damn time that the people of this country, the American people, have some powerful people back east working for them. And come January, you and your families will have some powerful people back east fighting for you. Not for endless wars, not for big pharma, not for the big banks. I can name 2 powerful people back east who will work for you, and I know there's an army more. Donald J. Trump and Senator Kari Lake. Guys, I want to first tell you the America First movement, though, is truly the biggest movement. I don't need to tell you that. I see it as a movement that saves our nation. But we've got to do everything we can to get all Americans on board. Are you willing to welcome independents? Yes, we are, aren't we? Are you willing to welcome disaffected Democrats who don't recognize their party? And they're tired of this slide into Marxism. Are you willing to welcome them into the America First movement? Yes, we are. Then for goodness sakes, we got to heal some of the rifts in our own party. Lincoln said a house divided cannot stand. The media wants us divided. The left wants us divided. We don't care if you woke up 20 years ago, 20 months ago, 20 days ago, or if you finally woke up 20 minutes ago. We welcome you into the America First movement with open arms. Truly. If you love secure borders, if you want a strong economy, if you want peace and prosperity, there's a good chance you are an America First patriot and you just don't know it. I do want to leave you with this, because I know that sometimes it gets scary, what we're dealing with. We're human. But God is with us, and He's so moving mountains for us right now. I want you to know that God does not make mistakes. I think He put me here for this moment. I know He put you here for this moment. He put all of us here at this moment. Just like our founding fathers back in 1776. We were born for this moment. You may not think you can make a big difference, but you can. You have to use every gift God gave you at this moment to save this country. Register people to vote. Knock on doors. Get involved with the campaign. Anything that you care about, get involved and help President Trump. If you're in Arizona or anywhere around the country, help me. You can go to my website, karilake.com, and find out how. We all have a role to play in this fight. We've got 8.5 months to save America, and I know we are going to do it. I know it. And this time, and just think this time next year at CPAC 2025, we are going to have a lot more to celebrate. It's going to be a huge celebration. I'm ready to make America great again. Are you? Let's do it. CPAC. Let's do it, America. Thank you. God bless you. And I love each and every one of you. Let's go. Trump 2024.